Hello Virgo, it's Blue Moon Oracle and I am here with your new moon in Cancer Oracle and Tarot reading. The first thing I want to start off with is a message that came from the Morrigan through the entire collective, so all the signs, is that this lunar cycle is the cycle to deal with that thing that you've been putting off or haven't had the time to deal with, or the mental and emotional bandwidth to face and process. Whatever this is for you, and we'll get into that in the cards, this is what's been preventing you from breaking new ground. That's another thing that Maha was very clear on, is that this is a cycle for breaking new ground internally, and then therefore opening up a door for abundance to come in, okay? And also, I got additional messages, and I love when this happens, okay? So turns out Isis, the Egyptian god Isis or Osset, rules the sign Virgo. So I tune in, obviously, and I meditate prior to each video to see if there is a message in addition to what was given to the collective. And I mean, I felt it so strongly on me. The first thing I heard in my mind was dandelion. Okay, got that. Put it to the side. And then I got the number 57, and I'm feeling this excitement over me. So I mean, honestly, I don't know all the herbs and all of their meanings, so I look it up and was super surprised. But I love when it happens to find out that the dandelion is about healing emotionally and physically. It helps give us intelligence, but specifically intelligence around our the spiritual and our emotional hidden emotions. Okay, it's about and for bringing long-lasting happiness, for getting our wishes fulfilled. It symbolizes the ability to rise above one's own difficulties and thrive despite the challenges, emerging victorious. It's great for, if you're battling depression or grief and you're finding it hard to be sunny. I feel like what Isis is saying here is like, this is the season to heal some emotional pain. That is a cause for some of you, a lot of physical ailments as well. I'm getting left shoulder for somebody to, and that long-lasting happiness is yours for the taking, that you have it in you with her help to rise above your present difficulties, through it coming victorious, okay? And that she realizes, for some of you, you've been dealing with deep depression, deep depression, and that the sun is rising. Now, this lunation is the new moon coming in Cancer, brings with it all of the wonderful things about Cancer. I'm a Cancer. So it's the perfect time for dealing with emotions, but because of the way the planets are aligned, this new moon in Cancer is stable and orderly, okay? And it's doing something with Neptune, don't know if I remember exactly what I was, that is about our dreams and soulmates. So I also feel very strongly, and this ties into the number 57 that was given to me, and I did look a little bit deeper into that. I feel like there was a message that I was missing just in my knowledge of numerology, for partnerships, okay? Healing partnerships, business, love, friendship, okay? But also a time where you've been waiting, someone's coming in. And so with the number 57 that was given to me by Isis for Virgos, is the number is creative and introspective. It's about asserting one's power into creative endeavors. It's adventurous and curious. It's about sensuality, commitment, wit, and intuition. So like, one of the things that I feel like is being addressed here is the sacral chakra, where is our creativity comes from, but also sensuality and sexuality. So some of that, I think, is some of the issues that will be being dealt with this lunar cycle, if you're ready, and willing to partner with Isis here, or whomever you reach out. I just can't help who comes to me for a sign. I ask for the guardians and the angels and the ancestors and the deities of Virgo and Virgos, specifically before I do the reading, okay? That this is a season to deal with that, to heal, to open up the door for your person, for those of you who are single, and to heal for those who are in relationships, to bring some more vulnerability and closeness together. Also, the number 57 is about being introverted and extroverted, so ambivert here. And it's like, I feel like she's saying that we need to balance the time we spend alone and the time we spend with people. And both are important and both are needed. That introspective time is needed during those introverted periods. So put the phone down, put the games down, put the swiping down for a little bit, and use that time to go inward, to reconnect with yourself, to connect with your higher self, to connect with your angels, your ancestors, your deities. Also, I feel for some of you that your person coming in or you've just met, couple of different, this is a collective reading, so I've got a few things that came to me. Someone's birthday is May 7th. This is a person to have fun with. This is all, what I got overall is like, have fun. Don't worry about the outcome, just have fun. So someone who was born on May 7th, someone who is 57, someone who was born in May or July on the 5th or the 7th, or the last two digits of their phone number are 57. That's how you're going to know that this is a person that's worth spending time with. I'm not saying that I know for sure it's the one person, but this is somebody that is going to be good for you and good for what's happening. Have fun, have sex, just be confident in who you are and what you look like, and enjoy this attention, enjoy this time with this person, and move forward with it for right now, okay? Is there something else that was here? If their birthday is on the 5th or the 7th of any month, I think too, is an indication. So we're looking for 5/7s, 57 years old, born on 57, May 7th, the 5th month, May, or the 7th month, July, birthdays, or the last two digits of their phone number being 57. You just add in the last two digits of their social security number if they shared that much with you. But if you're wondering about this person, or how will you know when you meet this person that this person is a part of the plan, not saying the plan, I don't know that much because this is a collective reading. I don't want to get that specific. This person's a part of the plan, and enjoy yourself and the time that you spend with them, okay? And so going back to what the Morrigan said about this being the time to deal with the things that we're putting off. So we're going to go to, first, we're going to go to my Divine Abundance Oracle cards to kind of get an overview of what this reading will be about, and kind of, we're going to let Spirit speak, okay, through the cards to get us started. And then we're going to hit the tarot cards to find out what exactly is this thing that we've been putting off. Again, a collective reading. If it doesn't resonate, toss it out the window. Go watch your rising sign or your moon sign or your north node, and see if it matches there for you. If you want to go deeper, you can always book with me at bluemoonOracle.com/tarot or /healing, depending on what it is you need. I can intuitively pick up things through energy or the cards. I use multiple forms of divination to channel messages and for healing. I can use tarot to heal, energy to heal, and I can do this remotely, okay? And then we're going to get into the Divine Feminine. I especially even mentioning here the sacral chakra. I feel like it's going to be a big part of your healing this lunar cycle. For those of you who are in tune with this, is getting a message from the Divine Feminine Oracle cards for the energy that's coming in to assist, energy that you can call out to assist, to get you going for this lunar cycle. And then we're going to end up with daily inspiration crystal cards here for advice, and for the crystal energy that you can help ease things. So they're gonna have a message, but also if you're a person into crystal healing, and crystals do make they do make life easier. They do. I'm covered in them. Can you not see? Solicite, moonstone, angelite. I got a ruby under here. Labradorite, another moonstone, green prenite, a couple of different yellow stones, rose quartz, and hematite. And then this is something that we are making. They're called, I think right now the name we're going with is power towers. So they're specifically made for goddesses, or we can do them for your moon signs. And we're offering them for $14.99, shipping included. Wait a minute, that's these earrings. Not sure what the prices we're going to offer for these two, but we'll get that up soon. But if you want to pre-order, you can send it in to info@bluemoonOracle.com. Give us your birth information, or if you have a specific goddess you would like one made for. They clip on, so I add them to necklaces, and I also have one clipped to my witch's meditation keychain that I kind of put together. And I use it for meditation and to channel, along with my crescent moon, my tree of life. But anyway, this is my version of like I guess the purpose of mala beads would be, this is my purpose. And looks like my key fell off again, my Hecate key. I gotta add that back. Okay, so let's get started. Remember dandelion tea, dandelion flowers around your house. When you see a dandelion, look up the message for the dandelion in case you remember everything that I said. And that Isis is a part of this for you, goddess of magic. And look into her, learn a little bit more about her and her as an aspect of the divine feminine, okay? All right, no, shit. Card already fell, so let's see what it says. Damn it, that was my selenite wand, I think. She was. I do have shorts on, they're just kind of riding up. Selenite wand. Okay, so the first card that jumped or fell would be Divine Flow, but let me get some more here for you, okay, Virgo? Something I just feel like adding, I got this from my garden, but you know how I clear my energy with that selenite wand? Getting just a fresh swig of rosemary and clearing, I feel like there's something that's standing on my back that I just need to pull off of me. To clear your energy with just a swig of rosemary. Also helps with focus and wisdom as well, okay? I'm bringing in some divine masculine element. All right, so for Virgo, message from Spirit for this reading and overall for this, just whatever, for this reading and the lunar cycle. I'm gonna leave that card because it came upside down. I feel like there's some importance there. I feel like there's one more, and there is. All right, Virgo, let me take a look at these oracle cards for you. Again, this is from my Divine Abundance Oracle deck. You can purchase these on my site at bluemoonOracle.com/shop-support and help support my site by purchasing through me. Love these cards. I've had them for about a month now. Okay, Divine Flow, Liberation, Grief, Detachment. Okay, so first we have Divine Flow, then we have Liberation, we had Grief that came in reversed, and I'm leaving it that way because I feel like that's critical to the message. And then Detachment. All right, I'm gonna start with, I feel like detachment is where I need to start. With detachment, you finally feel whole inside. With or without the fulfillment of a particular desire. Ironically, that's often when it's fulfilled. So we're detaching from our expectations, from these desires that are driving us. They're distracting us from being able to bring that into our life, okay? And now we have Divine Flow. Eventually, one sublime desire will take precedence over all others, to follow the divine flow at all costs. So I think what it's saying is like we need to shift our focus from that which we are zeroed in on to the divine, to our connection with the spirit realm, with our higher self. If you are an atheist, with our higher consciousness, if you are spiritual, with source, with your angels, your ancestors, your deities, the elements, however you choose to connect and center, okay? And when we do that, what's blocking, I think this is a block here with this grief being in reverse. We have suppressed grief. And this says here, tears are what happens when the ice inside the heart melts. We're keeping that sadness down here. Every time it tries to come up, we're instinctively and protectively pushing that back down to avoid dealing with a broken heart. Okay, but we need that broken heart to heal so that we have liberation. Look up a dragonfly as well. That's going to be a good totem animal for you this month, okay? The doubts and fears still come up. You don't believe anymore that they're you. Some heart chakra stuff going on here, okay? And that's gonna, those fears come from that sacral chakra, and we touched on that in the beginning message from Isis here. So Virgos, overall, your key words for this illumination is detachment, divine flow, grief, and liberation from that grief through the divine flow, okay? Now, let's get a hold of the tarot, Virgo, and see what exactly it is that we have just not been making time for, we haven't had the time for, but really underneath that all is I think a fear of facing this particular issue. I know for me, what has come up has been something that, you know, I can only handle, I've only in the past been able to handle working on it a little bit of time, because the amount of emotional pain that it triggers and anxiety, you know, it's exhausting. But what the Morrigan said, what Maka said through this to us, to the collective as a whole, is that this is a season for breaking new ground. So these things that we have tried to work on before, we have made progress on before, it's time to finish the job, okay? And to push through into a territory that we haven't been in yet, okay? Cards for Virgo, please. I see that Two of Cups soulmate card keeps trying to come out. It's not come out yet, though. Okay, we've got some intense shit coming off this lunar cycle for you, and you know that makes some sense here, Virgo. This is, oh shit, it's in your 11th house, and I'm gonna get into that in a second. I'm drawing a fucking blank. Like there's, oh, there it goes. It did make it did appear, this Two of Cups, because I feel like there's some of you watching this that this has been your focus. And you're afraid of it. You're afraid of partnerships, of trusting, of intimacy. There's a fear of intimacy and connection and true love. And with this new moon in Cancer, because of some things with Neptune, that's the, you know, that I mentioned before, the soulmate in dreams, okay? And so there's a lot of fear here. Let's see what's at the bottom of the deck. The Page of Cups in reverse. So we're not getting the messages we want. We're not hearing from the person we want to hear from, or we haven't met our person yet. We're beginning to lose faith and have doubt about this. Well, I feel like given the number 57 that you got, joy is to be found in this. But for some of you, I feel like love, partnerships, any kind of partnerships, closeness, triggers this fear here, okay? And strength is needed, but before strength can be had, we have to do some healing. So we have some major arcana cards, a couple of them. We've got the Empress, we've got the High Priestess, we've got the Tower, and over here we have the Strength card in reverse. And so with these being a major arcana, what I'm seeing for you, Virgo, is, I remember a sacred geometry pull I did for y'all. Some of y'all were going through an awakening, and you probably are still going through that process. You know what? Sometimes you have to take breaks because it can be overwhelming. But this tells me that forces outside of your control are just, you know, hearing your call for freedom and healing and love, and they're working in your favor. Okay, and these are major archetypal themes in your life that are being worked on. Okay, so for some of us, it's dealing with the divine feminine, healing a relationship with our mother, and that needs to be taken care of, and it's affecting the way we take care of ourselves. For some, well, for all, we've had some fear here, and we are not controlling our base nature, that parts of us that enjoy things, but to extremes. Okay, and so there's some addictions, I feel like, or behaviors that are destructive but are coping skills. It's time to face them and release them, okay? And there's some of you, I've been avoiding that time, that meditation and being quiet and going into those quiet places and connecting. And I call it an altered, because I'm not dead quiet when I meditate. It's like an altered state of consciousness where I'm open up to the spirit realm and to receiving messages, to receiving healing, to receiving guidance and teaching. There's some of you, and I want to say you may have a Pisces in your top three. It is a rising and a moon sign. For you, I'm saying, or your North Node. For you, I'm saying it's time to close this down, this laptop, the phone, and to really tap into your psychic abilities and your gifts, and to beef up that spirituality, and to not be afraid of the messages that are coming to you, because they are here for your highest good and to help you break new ground, okay? And then for others, there's a secret. There's a secret, and it has to do with, it's a secret that has to do with masculinity, a man in your life, that it's time for you to kind of, I don't know if you, to face, going into this quiet place for some of you really triggers this, and it scares you, okay? but that's part of taking care of ourselves and loving us. This is a lot more violent than it really is, this experience to go through. For somebody, there's a, I'm getting Aries and Scorpio energy. For somebody who's got some secrets that you know about and you've been putting off dealing with, or not wanting to acknowledge that they're true because of the pain that comes up, or it was someone from the past who did this and you're wanting to reconcile. I'm saying, you know, if it's a past and the reconcile, I feel like the cards are saying, use your intuition. That's what they're saying. They're saying use your intuition before you reconcile, okay? Because this is a lot of pain caused here. For others, we need to be focusing on, I mean, and this may all be for you, I don't know. I just say for others, for some, because it could be somebody completely different too. For some of us here, this is about, Virgo, looking out for ourselves without stepping on toes of those around us, okay? I think a few of us have this tendency to, you know, want to look out for ourselves, but in the process, we're using people, we're stepping on their toes, and in our mind, they've walked away from us. Really, we've pushed them away from us, okay? And so I think it's time to look at some of those the recent interactions that you're having, a pattern of your interactions when you get into an argument with somebody, when there's conflict. I think it's time for some of us to look at our role in that and assess where we have opportunity to grow and to do better, okay? And it may require an apology from you to the other persons or peoples. It may not, you know, seek that out during your quiet time. This is going to be really needed here. I still see healing of sexuality and beauty, taking care of ourselves, attractiveness, caring about your own level of it, whatever's attractive to you, and defining what that is, and then taking care of yourself. And I'm not judging. There were times in my life where, I mean, my goal was like, I need to brush my teeth today. I mean, depression's a bitch. You know what I'm saying? Woo! I get thirsty doing this. But these major arcana cards are huge. And here we have, at the center of this, Cancer. A Cancer card here. Love, emotions, relationship, connection, duality, coming together internally and then with those around us. And we have fear because of past destruction, because of secrets. And, you know, we fight perceived secrets. That just jumped out at me here. And ultimately, I think for some of us, this is tied to some issues around mother. But I feel like we also have divine masculine and divine feminine energy. This is how we are taught. This is Mars energy. Mars is the masculine energy. So when you look at this card, it's like, man, this is coming to fuck my shit up. I mean, when you look at that card, but honestly, I mean, one of my favorite readers calls this divine intervention. And it really is. You know, look, it doesn't have to be this way. We put out the call to the universe to heal, to be free, to whatever the fuck it is we want, right? And then all these opportunities are given to us. For instance, the Morgan saying this is the time to deal with that thing you've been putting off. Well, you don't have to do it. You don't have to do it. But the universe is going to answer your call to heal you, to bring in abundance, to bring your soulmate. And things have to happen sometimes before that happens. And then this is the result of that. The rug is yanked out. The foundation is ripped out. And our heart is broken because our eyes are opened. It is for our own good, but it's painful. It doesn't have to be this way. I believe very strongly in creating my own tower moments. That's why I do shadow work. I'm tired of fucking having life happen and ignoring all the signs of, you know, do this, and not listening to myself and trusting my intuition. And then I end up crushed. You know, crushed. With these two coming up together, again, there's so much fear around intimacy for some of us. I have a Virgo moon, and I'm just realizing that I'm probably connecting with this myself too. We need to deal with that. We need to get ourselves under control. Some of us are finding ourselves with some obsession, some fears. We have our wall up. Let's look at that. And looking at where we, you know, need to look out for ourselves and how the line has been blurred a couple of times in this pattern. And we have, you know, let's look at the people who are no longer in our life that we cared about. What is our role in that? I'm not saying it's all our fault. I'm not saying you even had a role, but in somewhere in there, there's a lesson from spirit here about looking out for self without stepping on the toes of others, okay? And not winning at all costs. Where have you won at all costs and then it has left you alone? Let's take a look at this. And I know this is coming out super direct, okay? But, you know, It's from a loving place, from spirit. Spirit doesn't want us to hurt and to be abandoned or perceived abandoned. Some of us have been abandoned. Some of us create situations where we are abandoned by pushing people away. I mean, that's just the hard fucking cold truth for a lot of us. You know, I read a really great thing on someone who was diagnosed with borderline personality disorder, and how, you know, she's been called toxic and manipulative and, you know, all these bad things. And she said she really hates, and I hate those terms too, because honestly, and trying to be the center of attention. Yes, because I felt alone and unloved. If I was manipulating, it was because I didn't want you to leave me, and I was trying to create a safe space for myself. And if I come off toxic, it's because I have unhealthy coping skills, you know, to create a sense of safety because of trauma, because of those things. So my point is that the truth, and what she went on to say was that I can't, although having the diagnosis helps me understand my behavior, I can't excuse away the way my behavior affects other people, even if it's a maladaptive coping skill, and, you know, and a learned behavior to survive in childhood or whenever we, you know, these behaviors were created in us. But now we have to take responsibility for where these once helpful behaviors are now very destructive in our current relationships in our life. Okay, Virgo? All right, so Divine Feminine, message from the Divine Feminine for the energy that's coming in. I don't know why my lighting does that. Energy, because I am not that tan. Divine Feminine that's coming in to assist this lunar cycle, Virgo. What did I say was at the bottom of the deck? Oh, shit. Oh, yeah, that Page of Cups in reverse. We're not following our intuition. We're being led with our mind and not with our heart. We're going one extreme or the other rather than the balance of in between. And we're not expecting good things for ourselves. So some affirmations around abundance and self-worth I think will be very helpful too, okay? So let's see what the Divine Feminine has to say to us. Again, this deck is the Divine Feminine Oracle by Megan Watterson. You can purchase this on my website and help support my site at bluemoonOracle.com/shop-support. I only put up decks that I work with that I like, because I have bought decks that I'm not crazy about. And I'm trying to get reviews up. So if you see images of cards on like the healing services page and the tarot page, click on those images and there are reviews for those cards. I did write a review about this. I'm not sure the exact website for that, but you know, you go to my /healing and click on the Oracle card, and that'll take you to my review for this deck and my experience with meeting the Divine Feminine. That was life-changing for me. Okay, all right. So can I have a card for? All right, this is on the bottom. I feel like it's worth mentioning. Akialanda. She is a goddess that I've just started working with, that my business partner and I, she introduced to me. It's called the Goddess of Never Not Broken. Everything happens for my liberation. I choose to become one with love. And one of the cards we got in the beginning is Liberation. She's a great goddess to call on, Akialanda. I hate that it's backwards. Akihlanda, the Goddess of Never Not Broken. Look her up. If you feel like you're broken into a million pieces or have been broken into a million pieces, okay? Any other energy coming in for Virgo to assist? Everything happens for my liberation. And I think some of us may have this idea, whoa, I think some of us may, well, I just got goosebumps over this. I mean, I can't help it that when spirit comes over me, my fucking nipples get hard. It is what it is. Especially when this one shows up. I'm not going to tell you it is yet. Okay, so it says that everything happens for my liberation. So what I was saying is that I feel like what Spirit is saying is like, this is happening for our own good, and we asked for it. Again, at some point in our lives, your lives, Virgo, you asked for assistance to shift the direction of your life, to heal pain, to bring in the love of your life. And only because you won't settle, you're a Virgo. We're not settling. We're not settling. So you want the one, not someone just to be a fucking filler. I know that. The universe is responding. And so when the pain comes up, it is not something we run from. You know, pain is, and in one of the 12-step programs I am in, we say that pain is the touchstone of spiritual progress. It's not like new pain. Usually it's triggering something really old in with us. And this is our pathway to healing and to freedom. So don't run from pain, because pain is the doorway to healing. Triggers are the doorway into healing. The darkness and those places we've been scared of is where our liberation rests, okay? I think there's another one here. I think there's another one. All right, that's it. Nope. That is it. Okay. All right. So besides Akialanda, which is at the bottom of the deck, the shadow underneath of this is that it's time to deal with the brokenness and knowing that the pain is healing. And when our instincts sort of shove it down, I have to visualize sometimes my hand going down in there and pulling it back up. You can also use your hand to scan your energy, and you'll feel a connection in your body, and then literally start pulling. I'm feeling somebody with some deep grief and abandonment issues in the belly. And the idea of love and of facing this is sending all kinds of anxiety and fear all over you. So take a deep breath with me. That vocal sound is super important in that exhale. So again. Okay. We've got Lilith, the first woman. I am the voice of my body and soul. I choose a life that I deserve to live. Lilith is great for helping you create the life you want to live, but ultimately helping you realize that you deserve it, embracing and walking and finding your personal power. In the world, sexually, this is the one to call on. And if you've been wondering, is she calling me? This is your sign. Lilith is speaking to you, Virgo, okay? We have Bridget, the goddess of the eternal flame. I am an eternal flame, and each day my light grows brighter. So if we're dealing also with solar plexus work, with our personal power, because that's ultimately what is the inverse of this card, is personal power, solar plexus. Bridget is another goddess you can call on. I am the eternal flame, and Bridget, she's from the Celtic pantheon, okay? And then the final card we have is Amaterasu, the goddess of light. We are all sacred mirrors reflecting back the same light. When we see something in somebody that really disturbs us, it's an indication that there's something in us we connect to with that. That's a good way to find the shadow self as well, is what bothers you about other people, because we're really reflecting light back to one another. And so how do we brighten our light to where we're reflecting back what we want to be, what we know we deserve? Amaterasu. And then our final cards, Virgo, are going to be crystal healing for the rest of this lunar cycle, to get you through dealing with some of this stuff, okay? And if you want help setting intentions for the lunar cycle, you can always book with me at lumen.com/tarot. If you want some energy work, it's /healing. If you see something on there that you don't see what you're looking for, shoot me an email, Deborah@bluemoonoracle.com, DEBORAH, and I'll work with you. Okay, we'll get on a consult call, free of charge. All right, Virgo, for this new moon in Cancer and this Cancer season. I was right about sacral chakra. Okay, I feel like there's one more card here. Okay. Sacral chakra, pink opal, came in upside down. So I feel like this is the most important one here, okay? And it says, be kind to yourself. And the Empress was a card that we got about self-care. And this orange color tells me here that these issues are coming from the sacral chakra. The, Empress card that we got earlier is the mother of the deck. She's about sexuality, fertility, creating, bringing into existence the ideas and the things that we hope for and dream for and meditate on in the High Priestess. Where the hell did she go? I don't know where the hell she went. And we have to learn to be kind to ourselves as we're facing these things that we don't want to face. As we're realizing that, yes, we know we have been victims in our life, but that also inadvertently we have victimized other people, because I feel like that's a big lesson for us this month, Virgo, okay? Is that in our pursuit to protect ourselves, we have harmed others. So we're gonna have to be kind to ourselves and forgive ourselves and release ourselves from the guilt and the burden and the shame. And this pink opal is gonna help with that. And that sacral chakra here, okay? And for some, it's really tied to mom, really super strongly tied to mom. And then we have green Avertine. If I say these crystals wrong, tell me in the comments. Don't judge me. It's not like I've actually heard the name said out loud. Create your own luck. We're creating our destiny. We're creating it. And you know, one of the things about Cancer, it's about, that was for the Cancer reading in their own. I'm just getting unfolding destiny. So if that resonates with you, you know, if you have a Cancer rising or a Cancer moon, you know, that's in the first house and it's about our unfolding destiny. And so we create our own luck, and doing this healing work helps us to clear the clutter and the garbage that has acted as magnets to bring more of that shit in our lives, clearing it out to make room for spirit to bring in good things, okay? Create your own luck, green Avertine, great for the, I mean, can you tell I'm doing a heart chakra today? Greened up. And then we have labradorite. And I have a labradorite ring right there, so that's what it looks like in person. And then I have labradorite studs, which you can't see right here, but see the magic. This is also about psychic abilities and seeing the magic and the synchronicities in your life and tuning into that place. And I want to say for me, that's going with the High Priestess card that we got earlier. It's also a great psychic protection stone to protect your energy from psychic vampires, okay? And then we have tourmalinated quartz. Get out of your own way. I mean, that just goes back to what I was feeling led to say a few seconds ago, okay? Is, you know, where have we pushed people away, that Five of Swords, in order to come out on top? And what is our role in that? In pushing people away and creating these circumstances where we are abandoned. Not all of the time. Sometimes people are abusive and they're just dicks, but not everybody is, okay? And, you know, we have a lot of coping skills when we have complex trauma, BPD or PTSD, and some other mental health issues where, you know, we can act in the same way as that was acted to us. Our motives and real, you know, are to protect ourselves. Okay, but Spirit is saying it's time to get out of that space and thinking about how our behavior affects others and, you know, get out of our own fucking way. Okay. All right, Virgo, thank you so much for spending this time with me. I adore you. Namaste. The spirit in me recognizes, appreciates, loves, values, and adores the spirit in you. As you work to free yourself, you work to free me and the collective. As we break new ground, as Maka from the Morrigan said, we open portals of healing to make it easier for others and ourselves. And as we break new ground, we open up a portal for more abundance to come into our lives, wholeness, joy, happiness, money, and our persons, our people, okay? And remember dandelion and the number 57. Look that up. Dandelion tea, dandelion capsules. Talk to your doctor, general practitioner before you take any of this stuff to make sure it won't interact with any of your medication. If you're pregnant, nursing, or breast, but nursing and breastfeeding, the same thing. I'm not a doctor, so before you start taking any supplements, please talk to your general practitioner, make sure they don't interact with any of your medication. But dandelion, look up the spiritual meaning of dandelion. Carry that with you this lunar cycle, okay? I love you, Virgo, and I mean it. Thank you.